folks, how's it going? We have the one Magneto, the one good Magneto from the one proper Magneto from the trainer here. Never been run in, how many years has it been? 16 on this engine, you think? 7?
This one, I don't know.
It's been at annual a very long time, but and these Magnetos don't look good. So here we go, first run in I don't know how many years, at least a decade or so. Hang on. It works. It works. It works. Cut pretty cool. We'll get you close up here. I'd say that's a pass, but right now that's just we're just doing a pre-work check, see if it's actually working inside. I just ran it for just a little bit. I assume the bearings in it are toast, so the grease is probably shot. But what it tells me is that the basic function of the Magneto is probably okay. I'm expecting to see some bad stuff inside, but we'll see what it looks like. Regardless, we took it off. It's been sleeping for, I don't know, 10, 15 years, something like that. It appears to work. So let's see what the inside looks like now. Okay, boys and girls, we have the Magneto. We're going to call it the good Magneto in the shop for teardown right now. We haven't seen the inside of this thing. Like I said, it's been a while. It's a slick 4200. It's the old series 4200, not a 4300, which is the current one. So it's a 42. We're going to take it apart and see what it looks like. These we can still do a 500-hour inspection on. It's not worth doing an overhaul on, but we can do a 500-hour inspection and make it look fresh. So we'll see what it looks like inside. So hang on, here we go. Okay. 4 body screws, pretty simple. 3 long ones, 1 short one. The short one's actually kind of hard to get to because it's right in front of the condenser capacitor. And we use a flat screwdriver for that one. Come in here. You can see this thing looks pretty crappy. It's got all sorts of dirt and oil and crap on it. We cleaned it up as best we could, but it's still pretty humble. Okay, take that off.
Switch where?
Then we got the condenser wire. Disconnect that from the points. Okay, so it comes out. So what are we looking like here? Everything looks pretty good. The brush doesn't look bad. It looks like it's been working okay. It's pretty rattly sounding, kind of dry. The condenser appears to have an 89 date code on it. It looks like, so it's only 30 years old. Outside looks pretty good and all that. We'll check the condenser later. Let's see what things look like. Whoa, check this out. Look at the coil here. It's split. So we'll see what this thing looks like. Pretty simple stuff. You have a spinning magnet that's under here. You have a coil where the primary and secondary. You have a set of points when the magnet spins and it crosses what they call E-gap. Then you open the points, the field in the coil collapses, high voltage goes to the points. That's kind of what the program is. So we'll take this apart. See what's going on here. Got that off. Get the wrench on this one. Take that off. There. Okay. That's ready to go. Take that plate off. Take the retention plate, so we've got that off. We've got the other one off. Come on, baby. There you go. Get that off. Everything looks good. So that coil's shot. We're going to put new bearings in regardless. Cam follower that comes with the points, that gets replaced. You can see a lot of oil in here. Really, this thing's been leaking all over the place. So there's oil here. Not too good. Let's take this half apart, and then we'll go to the press here and take the other items apart. This is a little bit different than a 4300 as far as the way these parts are set up. Just a little bit different in the way the castings are. Still not a bad Magneto, just a little bit different. Okay. Let's see what this looks like here. Take these screws out. You can see a bunch of oil and crap has come in here just from years being on the engine. Let's see what this looks like. Takes it apart. And we've got the old style gear. Old style gear. There's a service bolting on this. Again, the brush doesn't really look, the carbon brush doesn't look bad at all. But there's a service bolting on this. This will have to be replaced with an Inconel one, but what happens is this follower can get loose. I'll show you one. Let's see if I've got one in my collection. Here's a bad one. This is from our collection of bad parts. You can see this is what can happen. If that happens, it wipes out your electrodes and you're going to land in a field. So it's real important that you do a 500-hour inspection on these things. So this one will get replaced. So that goes away. This doesn't really look bad. We're looking for any kind of damage. There's just some normal stuff. We'll measure that. That looks okay. Same thing. We'll measure the bearing and reservice it with oil. We'll take this apart now. This, we'll do a condenser check. In the meantime, let's do a quick check of the coil. Okay, we'll check our primary and secondary. No, I don't know what if the numbers are the same as for a 4300. I assume so. I just haven't looked at the book tonight. So our primary is currently at 15,000, which is showing good. That's good between 13 and 20,000 ohms. So that's actually showing still good. Let's see what the secondary looks like. Secondary is 650, 650. 0.65, yeah, 0.65 ohms, and that actually is good. So electrically, this coil is great, except for the fact it's got a big honk and crack in it, so that'll have to come out. So off to the press. We'll be back in just a little bit. Take some of these things apart. Okay, real quick, we're going to test the condenser, see how it is. It's a 1989, so it's approximately 32 years old. See if it even makes. We'll see how this goes. What we're looking for is 0.315 to 0.385 microfarads. Survey says, wow, 0.352, or pardon me, 352. So that's good. That's hard to believe. It'll pass. That's a pass for putting back in the airplane. So good to go. Okay, we just came back from the press, and we're pulling out the bearing assembly, or the magnet assembly. You can see there's a bunch of crap in here. This is the problem with an older Magneto that hasn't been maintained, is the oil seal leaks. And this is just nothing but oil and grease from the bearings. So either the bearings have left a bunch of grease out of themselves, which means they're old and they need some help, they need replacing, or a long time ago, which the bearings need grease inside the bearings, not outside. Or we've actually got leakage from the engine seal because it's so old. So that's that. We'll remove that seal. Here's the bearings. These bearings will be replaced. You can see this here, just this schmutz here on the bearing. So all of that should have been inside the bearing. So you can also see here along the outside where all this grease has been slinging. Again, grease that should be in the bearing is outside the bearing, so it's not good at all. This inside this housing is another bearing, and it feels good though. It actually feels pretty good, but it needs some. It's gonna get all new bearings. So that's where that is. So that's our Magneto for the night. Physically, it looks pretty good. Electrically, it's got some. It actually works operationally electrically. However, the coil is shot, so we'll have to throw a new coil in it. We'll check the condenser tomorrow. Everything else, I think, will clean up. The bearing blocks and, the distributor blocks. It'll get new points. It'll get new coil, new bearings, new seal. Trying to think of what else. New cam follower, new brush, new distributor gear, new rotor gear. All these plastic parts will put all new in. So that's a slick Magneto, busted apart real quick. And then now we've got to do the hard work, which is go to the books and go through our inspection sheets and all that. But that is pretty much a slick Magneto, and it's very similar to Bendix as far as you have a spinning magnet. As it spins, when it spins through the frame, it induces a electric flux, magnetic flux. The points open, and when the magnetic flux is at its largest, end up with a voltage going through the coil going through to the points. So real simple stuff, kind of neat. Don't need a battery, don't need any wires. It runs by itself, just like a lawnmower or anything like that. So that's it, Magneto 101. So orange plane, double trouble. This Magneto doesn't look bad, but you know what? Our other Magneto is trouble.